like the kitchen doesn't have
It used to be Roby's in Millbury, and now it's now Broncos.
I mean, the waitress.
Oh, well,
like,
there's a lot of people on here.
She couldn't have food. I mean, the kitchen wouldn't. We sat there for an hour. And we'll give them a second chance, or a third chance, but twice it was like.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Well, welcome everybody.
Thank you.
Glad you could be here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Well, once again, welcome. So we have no public comments.
No public comment?
Okay. We are. Okay. I need a motion for the approval of ordinance from the last.
Motion.
Chuck?
Second.
Chad, all in favor, raise your right hand. That goes 5-0.
Nothing right now?
Policy now.
Sure, you guys will find in your book that we are going to ask for a second read this evening and approval for all of your updates in your binder that were coded with brown. In particular, the one I want to look at, I'm going to post up here, it's policy 5136, which is personal communication devices. And we talked about this last week with the handbooks, but beginning the 26-27 school year, we will follow bell-to-bell personal device expectation. I wanted the public to see that this is a graphic we will be sending out tomorrow to families. So we'll be notifying families with a letter tomorrow of this policy update and our district plan, and then a graphic also that helps explain kind of the myth and the facts of the actual Indiana personal device law. So this is a policy you'll be voting on this evening. Another one we discussed a little bit last week also, or last month with the attendance, is policy 5200, which is the attendance policy. It aligns with Indiana's new attendance accountabilities. And I wanted the public to see that this is a new graphic that we will be using and sharing with parents for the 26-27 school year as well. So those are both in your binder for approval this evening with our updates. So we will be updating 37.2, the special update July of 2025, the update 38.1, update 38.2, and the special update for June of 2026 will actually be in your first read. Okay? I think that is all I have with policy, so when we get to action items, I would just ask for there to be a motion on our second read of the items that are all listed in brown, color-coded brown in the policy. Yep.
Ms. Morgan?
I don't have anything today.
Well, but
I
you-
know. Don't worry, I'm sure August and September will be heavy. Don't you worry.
Okay. Jess?
I also don't have anything for you today.
What is your go?
The students are out. I know. We're gonna knock on some wood.
Oh, Miss
Don't, you
Yo.
don't say that.
You'll see later, but I had some changes. I was looking over the driver's employment agreement. It used to be called their contract, but there's some changes there. I had a change in the handbook and classified handbook that we just want to update so that I can give those to them at their bus drivers meeting. I had a bus driver who wanted to go to 3 routes. He was our impact driver. He wanted to go to 3 routes, so that helped me in the 3 route stage where I needed a driver. Then I had to find somebody for my impact route. So you'll see that I hired a new driver, but I'm just bringing a driver back who quit. She actually decided to come back, which is fantastic. I mean, I'm thrilled to death. So I'm excited to have her. Yeah, she was willing to come back because it's every morning, like still has her afternoons to do what she needed to do. So works out great for me. I'm still short, but we're better finagling. We're finagling a little bit. And then for buildings and grounds, Kendra, Jamie and I, we met with our S-Craft person to do our loss control report. I had a great meeting. We all did, but then I got to walk around with them.
Great guy.
He was fantastic. We got to talk about, I mean, it's not really exciting, but workers' comp And he went to all of our buildings. Believe me, we've had some doozies of worker comp issues this year that I have not been happy about. And he gave us some great tidbits on things that I can bring up to the principals and say like, hey, if this person does something stupid and they had just clocked in and they really shouldn't have went and done this, maybe just tell them, sure, you can go do that, but go clock out first because we're not gonna do this on the clock if that's what you wanna go do. Gave us some great tidbits that we can have them to maybe,
Mitigate risk.
yes. So, he was very good. Loved our buildings. The first thing he did when he came in is, he said, I've been to all of your buildings, and he said, I don't know who takes care of your buildings and grounds, but let me tell you, your schools are the nicest buildings I have seen. And he said, kudos to you. He goes, they all look fantastic. I love hearing stuff like that. I know our custodians do a great job, our grounds, they do look great. And to hear somebody else come up and just say, wow, that's a great feeling. So I made sure everyone got to hear that, who takes care of everything. On the report, he showed us different things, he took pictures of things. On the back, there are a few things that he said, recommendations are not requirements, but some recommendations on things that we should have some different signage, just to, like it says, lack of proper label. We should just have a few things that code of conduct signage back by our sports facilities, just signs that to let people know like, hey, you're at risk of something that could happen here type thing. So I've got those notes. I'll be working with Jeff on, he's got great companies where we can order some of those signs and get those posted at some of our elementary schools, some signage back by our wood shop, just some different things that could help us in the event of something happening. So again, he was a great guy to work with. He said that we can contact him with any questions that come up. So yeah, it was really nice walking around with him, and he gave me some great things that I think are gonna help us in the long run.
Yeah.
Did he give any indication on overall rate changes or anything like that?
He's an independent risk control specialist,
Okay, so he's not
completely
connected
independent
with the
from
rate side.
SRAP, yep, yes. So, and I have a meeting coming up here at the end of the month to start getting an idea of what we're looking at on rates. They've never been great though since I've been here. I remember the first year I got here, it was like a $90,000 increase. I'm like, I have to go back to the board and tell them that. This, I don't wanna
Do you know
do
I'm
it.
new?
But I haven't heard any talks of like big stuff and we have to be worried and everybody better buckle up, it's gonna jump. I mean, clearly we've had some pretty significant weather events, but that's been happening the last several years. But I'm not hearing any scuttling of be prepared for some big rate increases. So I'll have more information at the August meeting. Yeah, that's a really good question.
Are you done, Jim? Doing a great
I mean, we
job.
got a bunch of stuff going on, but
You're doing an excellent job. Grounds, buses.
Summer projects going on.
Summer.
yes, this is finally a year where we don't have a lot of
Right.
big things, so part of me, I come in sometimes, I'm like, what am I forgetting? But the chip show on sidewalks are gonna start hopefully on Monday.
Okay.
We're doing the ones that haven't been done because we had construction going on. So the approaches and stuff, we're gonna, hopefully that gets started on Monday. We're redoing some landscaping at some of the schools that it just looks hideous. Westview Elementary is getting worked on.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna do some facelifts outside and get those looking good.
Very good job. Mr. Sizemore.
I just got a couple updates and stuff like that. First of all, Dr. Carroll and I attended a student data privacy conference down in Indianapolis back in June 22nd. And what that was, it was a conference that was put together by the education service centers throughout the state. So there's the northern one over in South Bend, there's one in southern, there's I think 6 or 7 of them throughout the state. They are building a coalition where schools can work together to come up with data privacy agreements for vendors. So like when Morgan has a new curriculum that she wants to sign with or something like that, or I have a new cybersecurity, whatever, any vendor that gets student privacy or student data, we sign agreements with them, and it basically tells them how they can store the data, what they can do with the data afterwards, they can't share the data, all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And it's really nice because it's a coalition throughout the state, so we can bounce off of each other with these agreements and stuff like that. So went down there, it was very informative, it was very helpful. I thought they did a really good job. And Dr. Carroll did not fire me after getting back, so I think I did a good job driving. It was a good road trip partner, so.
It was a good, yeah, we road tripped.
It was a good road trip.
It was good.
So that's what we did back in June. The other thing that I just started 2 weeks ago, and Kendra is helping with that as well, is we're doing a cybersecurity audit, and it's through a joint initiative between the Purdue University and Indiana University. And basically, it's not just like, do you have passwords and all that kind of stuff on your switches? It's Kendra had to answer some questions like, how is our finances stored? How is all that kind of stuff. And so, do we budget for cybersecurity? And we have to answer those questions, and they have a team between the two universities that go through it all, and they'll come back with a huge recommendations, and this needs to be taken care of right away, and all that kind of stuff. So everything's been filed, and we're just waiting to hear back from them on when we're going to schedule all of that stuff. And Dr. Carroll and Kendra and myself are all sitting in on that together. And then if you turn to tab G, you guys approved the handbooks for the students, and in there we added a responsible use agreement, which kind of plays off of our acceptable use policies that we have for using of the data, using of our networks, using of devices and that kind of stuff. We also developed a responsible use agreement for the staff. So kind of the same thing, we have acceptable use policies and stuff like that for the staff, and this kind of plays off of it. Just make sure you take proper care of your devices. Like we have the no-nos that you do, and the policies this year is just more general guidelines kind of stuff. So develop that. We're going to discuss that and go over that with the staff on the first staff day, I do believe, when we come back, so that they're all aware of it, and just kind of make them aware of some of our policies and stuff like that, because some of that policies and guidelines are just kind of dry reading, so just kind of like a rehash of, hey, don't forget about this. And there's a lot of AI stuff and AI tools and how you can use that kind of equipment and access. So I won't go through all the details of it, but it's back there for you to read. And that is all I got.
It's excellent. Good job.
Ms. Kendra,
This evening I have prepared for you our school meal prices recommendation. We have to increase our prices. As you know, we've been following our food service budget very, very tightly, and every year a calculator is released by the United States Department of Agriculture. We have to follow that to determine what our lunch prices need to be, or what our meal prices need to be. This was Tina's first year as food service director, so when she got the calculator, she performed all the calculations. She didn't have 100% confidence that she did it right, so we did reach out to NESIC and got Colleen Rubel, who was our former food service director, who we contracted with. She did come on site. She is still providing mentorship services to Tina and myself. She checked and reviewed all her calculations, and she said, you did a perfect job. We do have to increase our lunch by 20 cents at both elementary and high school, and our breakfast by a nickel at both elementary and high school. And there's no recommendation to increase our adult breakfast or lunch prices. So I do ask for board action on this, but it is later on in the agenda. So you don't have to do it now. Did you have any questions on okay. One thing I was really shocked by was the very first page of the calculator. It said nationally, the USDA is recommending that lunch prices should be $4.16 in every school. We said, what? There's no way. So that's part of why you do the calculator, because it takes really into consideration your true costs, your meals that you're feeding, your locality. It doesn't just look at a nationwide picture. Certainly a meal in California is more expensive than in Shipshawana, but for us to only have to do 20 cents, that still feels good. It's not too big of an increase, but we shouldn't be operating at a loss. Okay, this other page that I give, this is the front and back, we send this with all of our free and reduced price applications every summer. We just got that application. I'll be working with Tina on that next, in 2 weeks. We send this because if parents do qualify as a reduced price meal, this tells them then how much they need to pay for their child for the entire year or just the month. It's something that all of our clerks and secretaries have relied upon, so we make sure that we update this to reflect any changes presumptively that the board would, that we recommend and the board would approve. And then we send this with the applications, and we've also done a really good job this past couple of years with educating our parents and our families on the importance of the application, how it helps you, how we can help you complete it, because it's a government application, it's 30 pages long and teeny tiny print, it's not very easy. So Tina does a really good job as a resource to the clerks who know the families a little bit closer, and to those families who really don't want to do it at the school, they would rather it be a little more private in the back end of things. But at the end of the day, the whole goal is to try and get as many kids at free or at reduced price. And so that's, just a calculation of what they would have to pay on that. Okay. Financial report, I do apologize with the holiday last week, fiscal year end of month. There was a lot of adjusting journal entries that I need to work out with Amy when it comes to this time of year, and it was just too tight to get the financial report reconciled fully and in your hands before tonight's meeting. So I apologize that I just gave you a preliminary report. What we do have tonight though is what you've gotten familiar with seeing is, I like the chart. The chart is the most helpful. This is through the end of June, so we're at 6 months of the year. We should be benchmarking at around 50% of the way with our revenue coming in, about 50% of the way with our expenses going out. I want to highlight that our property tax disbursement was received in June. So where our referendum fund and our debt service fund, they were upside down at the close of May, they have healed back up because our property tax receipt came in. I knew that was coming. We get that money twice a year. It's just a cash flow thing. So I'm very proud to know that our June did not end anywhere in the red. Everything's in the black. So I'm very proud of that. The other couple of red lines, if we're looking at the actual percentage at the very bottom, the two columns that are 71% instead of 50% for the curricular materials, that is because at the beginning of the year, we paid for the balance of our Amplify curriculum. So we had one big outflow and then the rest of the year is maintaining. So that's the only reason why that's red in that column. And then in the third column for the operating referendum, it's 51% of our expenses. We should be at 50%. We're right on where we need to be with our referendum for cash flow and expenses. The other funds at the end are future benefits. It's because in June, we always do a 401A distribution to all of our retiring teachers who qualify for that grandfathered plan. So that's why that is exceeding the 50% right now. And then in our construction fund, it's 100% expenditures because we paid all of our bills and the construction fund is closed. And then our food service, again, very similar to the operating referendum, it's 51%. We should be at 50%. So I'm not concerned. We're benchmarking where I believe we should be. And all of the additional reports is just everything rolled into this graph here. So I do give you a fund report, a revenue report for the month, an appropriations report for the month, and put it all into this fancy graph. If you do generate questions because you did not get this report until this evening, please feel free to call me and I'd be happy to talk through anything you might have. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Very good job. Okay, action items.
You will need a motion to accept the claims.
Okay, you need a motion to accept the claims. Terry, second, Toby, all in favor, raise your right hand, that's 5-0.
For donations, we did not have any this past month that were over 5,000, so we need no action on that. With our staff recommendations, item K, you would be approving everything listed on the agenda, including there was an additional board addendum in front of you this evening because we had some last minute. So this, and those would be the special education teacher Hannah Gerber, the Meadowview special education teacher Heidi Garber, and, I know, that's a mouthful.
It's gonna be hard.
Yep. And the high school math teacher resignation, Brooke Bowen. And then the classified lunch clerk, Stephanie Sharp. So we would include those in your action item 1K.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve all the items in K.
Check.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Chad and Toby roll. All in favor, raise your hand. That's 5-0. Yes, okay. Extracurriculars, none, volunteers, none, additional items.
So our first one is to approve the new, the updated bus driver work agreements, removing item number 6, stating that bus drivers will be permitted to miss a total of 10 days in addition to sick and personal days. That would be an update. And then item M, I think we could do this one together, updating the bus driver handbook. We updated the language to reflect how changes in the bus stops can be made and improved. Additional safety precautions were added under general policies. So if I could get an action on L and N.
N's related to that too, should we do N also?
N is, sure, yeah, I guess it is included, the change that was made was bus driver driven as well, so,
3 of them.
yeah, that's fine, yep. Updating the section 705 language to reflect how the driver wages are calculated, so if we could get a motion to approve L, M, and N together.
Okay, I need a
Yep.
motion to approve them 3.
I will.
Chuck? All in favor, I'm sorry, I need a second.
Second.
Chad? All in favor, raise your hand. It's formality. You're out to go. Staffing plan.
Okay. Give me 1 second here, I'm sorry. All right, we need a motion to approve our updated program and staffing plan. 2 of the big changes in there are to acknowledge the transfer from a certified position at Topeka to Meadowview, and then the approval of a 50% athletic trainer at the junior senior high, and a bus driver position change to a bus monitor position. So we just need an action for that.
Need a motion to approve those items. Carrie? Second, Toby. All in favor, raise your hand. That's 5-0.
Okay, so item P is the 27-28 school calendar. We would just need you to approve that calendar. One thing I wanted to say about that calendar is we gave a community and staff survey wanting to know their needs for the calendar or their wants. I then met with the calendar committee and we had a representative that was K4, a representative from 5-6, and a representative 7-12 that sat on that. We created 2 different calendars and then we resurveyed the staff with option A or B, and option A was by far the majority. So that's the calendar we're bringing to you for approval for the 27-28 school year.
So we need a motion to approve 27-28. Chad? Carrie, second. All in favor, raise your hand. That goes 5-0. It's approved.
Okay, and then Kendrick discussed the change in meal prices. So we would just need an action to approve the updated meal prices for the 26-27 school year.
We need a
I'll make a motion.
Chuck?
Second.
Chad? 5-0.
Okay, and then I actually have 2 additional items this evening under this section, I'm sorry. The first one is to potentially modify the life and long-term disability benefits we discussed. So this request is basically asking the school board to make this benefit free for those staff members, and we no longer charge $1. This does not change any benefits or qualification of benefits for any staff member, but the school corporation would cover that. So we would need an action to modify that.
So we need an action, or a motion to modify that dollar. Carrie? Chuck? All in favor, raise your hand. That's 5-0.
And then a very important thing that is not on this agenda, but we talked about it earlier, is to take action on that first set of policy changes. Yeah, and I'm not sure how we didn't add it down here, but we did talk about it a little bit ago. So I would like an action to approve the brown coded policy changes, including the cell phone bill and the attendance.
Okay,
Policy.
So we need a motion.
Motion for that.
Chuck, Toby second, all in favor, raise your hand.
Thank you. Okay, so then, as part of my report, I just want to extend a thank you to Barb and Freeman Lehman and Keith and Norma Kaufman. They gave a $2,000 donation for a Gaga pit at Topeka, so that's super kind. And then Farmer State Bank donated $300 to purchase 2 bikes for attendance incentives. And the Community Foundation of Elkhart donated $500 to the boys basketball team for their summer shootout. So I just want to give props to all of those people. A couple other things that I just want to mention to the community is that we are going to be taking our platform for our agendas and our board meetings digitally in the future. So we have a little bit of a transition plan here. In August and in September, we're going to be using a hybrid model where we'll have a digital agenda, but we'll also be using board books to kind of make it a smooth transition. And then we hope to go just digital for our board meetings in October. So I just wanted to make sure people were aware of that. And then I am going to be working with these wonderful people this summer at our admin retreat and getting the strategic plan process started and rolling, and then we'll bring that to you. We will take it to a community group, and I'm really looking forward to spending some time with them and really like planning for the future. So I think that is all I have.
Anybody say anything? That we need an adjournment?
You guys are doing a great job.
Yes.
By the way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, everyone.
Really
everyone
appreciate
of them.
your,
Even, I don't know, Sizemore, see.
he's included.
Yeah. Oh, there.
Everybody is. And you can tell you're all working together, which is great.
That's what it's all about, it's all teamwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
You know,
Thank
and
you.
everybody's carrying their load, that's the main thing.
Motion we adjourn.
Got the motion, we get second, carry, all in favor, raise your hands, by vote. All of them, that need your paper signed, any one of us.